G'day guys, Ryan here, your Chief Espresso Officer, and today we're going to be reviewing the Fellow Stagg kettle, which I've had for a couple of years now and it's been out since 2018, but I'm reviewing it now because I think it's just so darn good. It really is. It looks like something out of Darth Vader's accessory cabinet, but this is an amazing kettle. Yes, it's pricey. Yes, it's not for everyone. However, I think this is a fantastic household kettle to replace your regular kettle. Let's find out why. Oh, and before I forget, there's a secret Easter egg built in to this device. And what's an Easter egg? An Easter egg is a little game that they hide in the device. It's the first kettle I've ever come across that actually has a built-in game. But we're not going to tell you that until the end, so if you want to, you can skip ahead using the chapters, or you can actually watch the video and enjoy all the other aspects about this great kettle. And if you like what you see, give me a like, give me a subscribe, it all helps. The company Fellow, who invented the Stagg, went to Kickstarter in 2013 to fund another product called the Duo Steeper. And it was such a success that they opened up a store in downtown San Francisco on a little street called Valencia Street, which is pumping full of bars and eateries. It's all the best places to go. And then there's an odd kettle store right in the middle of it. But it's such a success. It's not about selling kettles. What they're doing is telling you how to use the kettles, and that is an amazing point of difference. So they went back to Kickstarter in 2017 with the EKG, which is this electronic stag horn kettle, and it's called a Stagg because it's got this little stag horn-like feature handle. Fellow are kind of like the Apple of the kettle world, and everything is beautifully crafted. It looks like something out of Darth Vader's cabinet, coffee accessories, but this is such a brilliant design, and I want to talk to you a little bit about what it's made up of and some of the features. So let's talk about the EKG. It's about $200 to $300 in Australia, which is about $100 to $150 US. So it's not cheap. It's made with 304 grade stainless steel. And the gooseneck is because it looks like a little bit of a gooseneck. That's why they call it that. Stagg, because of the handle here. It holds 900 mils, about 30 fluid ounces. And it comes in so many different colors. There's obviously the matte black, matte white. It has the chrome. It has a beautiful timber handle versions, as well as a copper version and a beautiful pink, matte pink version as well. So there's a range for every style of kitchen in there. Now, I bought this for me because I love making pourovers. So I bought this kettle for our home, really for me, and because I love the design of it. However, in doing so, I discovered that it's great for children. It's a great family kettle. So because they started using it, I watched and observed how they used it, and I was intrigued because it actually helped them without burning them, without spilling it. It really is designed as a family friendly. I don't think it was intentionally designed that way. However, it really does work for your entire family. So the base is plastic, but it's a really simple design with a button that just turns it on, and then a dial. The same button is used as a dial to set the desired temperature. And on the back, there's two toggles. One for holding the temperature at a certain temperature for up to 60 minutes and to release that. And on the other side, you can flick between Celsius and Fahrenheit depending on where you are and what temperature setting you want to use. And that's basically it. It's such a simple design. That's why I love it. I have another kettle at the cafe, which is a Brewista. It has about 7 or 8 different buttons, and they have symbols on it, and I've just forgotten what most of the symbols mean. However, this, I can tell straight away, so easy, exactly what temperature it is. Is it going to hold it? Is it in the right temperature setting for my country? Brilliant design, super simple, and this fits on in any way you like, so you don't have to put it on in a particular way because of the design there. It just fits in. So why is this a great kettle for the family? Well, obviously, if you're into coffee and you want to do pour overs, then you need to have a gooseneck kettle. It just makes it so much easier and consistent when you're pouring the water onto the coffee. Now, the other thing is, for me, why I find it a really great family kettle is because I like my water to be at 96 degrees or boiling if I'm having a tea or anything else that I need to use for cooking. I put it to 100. However, the kids, they like their teas at 67 degrees Celsius. So they can actually just turn it on, set it down, and they don't burn themselves, scald themselves at all. The gooseneck slows down the speed so you can really just get a nice even pour. They said it's a little bit frustrating sometimes because you want to pour it a bit faster, and it does. If you pour it too fast, it'll come out the top. But obviously for my youngest daughter, she can pour it easily using the gooseneck, and it just takes a little bit longer to pour her tea, but she can do it all on her own and it really makes it easy. There is one part here that apparently can get quite hot, and I've heard reports that people can burn their little fingers on there, not burn it, but they can touch the finger there and it gets pretty hot. I've never experienced that, nor has anyone in my family. Maybe just way that people hold it. Some people maybe hold it a bit higher up and their finger gets on there and it gets a bit warm. But other than that, it's a perfect, really simple kettle. Having it sit and hold at a temperature for 60 minutes means that you can have 2 cups of tea. If you have to do pour over, then you can actually do your pour over. If you're not completely set up ready for it, you can just have the water hold in that temperature that you need to. So it's a fantastic design for that. It holds 900 milliliters of water, or about 30 ounces. It really does boil quickly, but I'm not sure exactly what the boil speed is. So we're going to test it out. Let's put in cold water here to the max. I'm going to set it to go to 100 degrees. It's at 28 degrees now, and we'll time how long it takes. So there we go. Actually, it took about 4 minutes exactly to boil the full kettle. So pretty quick. And I don't know what altitude we're exactly at here, but we're pretty close to sea level. So I'm assuming that we're going to be using the same chart as sea level. I mean, these guys have literally thought of everything. They even give you an altitude chart graph depending on where you are in your altitude. You can then find out, okay, this is what temperature water boils at, just so that you can know. But because obviously the temperature point gets lower the higher up you go. So you can use this wherever you are, whether you're in the highlands or the lowlands, you can make coffee for yourself and boil the temperature at the right temperatures. Because say you're trying to go for a filter coffee, you want it to be about 93 degrees Celsius, but obviously that's going to go lower the higher up you go. So the temperature can be set from anywhere from 57 to 100 degrees Celsius, 135 to 212 Fahrenheit. And yeah, super easy. Now it'll just hold it at 100 degrees. You can see it's boiling away there, holding it there, ready for me to use. That's how simple it is. So I've set my temperature back down to 96. It'll just drop back down now. What's fantastic about this kettle is that it also comes with a built-in stopwatch for if you're doing pour overs and you need to time it. That's perfect for it. There's not really any other reason that you need it. Just press and hold the button down here, 2 seconds. It gives you a 3-second countdown, and then it gives you, now it's time to go. Now I can pour my pour over. Yeah, so I love the countdown timer. That's not the Easter egg, so hold out for the Easter egg. The other thing is, it's really important after you've used it for a while, always check inside before you go to boil it, because it doesn't feel empty even when it is empty because of the solidness of the design. So always check in there. It happened to me the other day, someone else had used it. I didn't fill it up, I just pressed it on. I thought it was full because the last time I had filled it just like the night before. Luckily enough, there is a safety feature. It went to 36 degrees and it just sort of boiled out. But it does always say, make sure you fill to the minimum line. So be very careful. It's one of the things that you can really catch you out because it doesn't feel empty. It's not made in China, and I know a lot of companies move their production lines to China. That reduces the costs overall. However, these are built in California. They're solid and sturdy, and I really think they're a great family kettle that you can replace your normal kettle for, unless you're doing large volumes of boiling water a lot of the time. Then you don't want to use one of these because it does only hold that 900 ml. So let's go over the pros and cons. On the pros side of things, it's a fantastic design, beautifully crafted, solid, stable, an all-rounder, really simple to use to get you the right temperature every time and hold it there. It's a family-friendly kettle with huge functionality and low risk of burning yourself. That's what I believe is on the pro side. On the con side, it's a little bit on the pricey, sitting at 300 or 150 US. And the other downside is that it doesn't hold a huge amount of volumes because obviously they designed it specifically for use with filter coffees. That means they don't need a lot of water volume. You're not really making liters and liters of water. That's the only other downside, but obviously for a filter pour over, the volume doesn't matter. So I think that's it. Oh wait, you wanted to know the Easter egg. That's why you came to watch this video after all. So if you're here watching this little part on the Easter egg, please give me a like, give me a subscribe, maybe add a random comment down below so I know that you've watched this particular section. But now I'm going to tell you how to do the Easter egg. Okay, so super easy. Take the kettle off. Have it on. Now the toggle on the back, the Celsius and the Fahrenheit, switch between the both of them slowly, and then you'll see there's Wormy game on there. Now, if you're an 80s kid like me, you'll know the game known as Snake when we used to play it on the mobile phones. And it's literally that. You just use the dial here on the left to go between the two, and you make sure you don't hit the sides. It's a little bit hard because there's actually circular, I don't know exactly where the edges of the thing are, but you certainly, I'm still alive. Yeah, I lost, Wormy lost. And if you're wondering what the Wormy shape is that it's chasing, that's trying to eat, it's actually the Fellow logo, which is a head and a bow tie, I think. So that's the Easter egg there. Funny story, I told my teenager that I found an Easter egg in the kettle, and she thought I meant there was an actual Easter egg from way ago at Easter time left in the kettle, and it obviously had melted and gone everywhere. But because she wasn't thinking about an Easter egg like we would see in a movie or a computer game in your actual kettle. So don't blame her for misunderstanding that. But just so you know, this is the only kettle I've ever come across with a little computer game hidden inside it. Well, that's it from me. I'm Ryan, your Chief Espresso Officer. Enjoy your brew.